Hello again, Richard, yes it is Machinery, back again with another video, and the videos are coming up pretty fast now because I have many projects ahead of me. And I also want to say in the beginning of the video here that if you want to help my channel out, please consider subscribing. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, but makes me really happy because you help me out with these kind of projects that I want to show you. So please consider it if you like the video. But look here what I bought. So here we have, straight out of the box, a Berini engine. It's a two-stroke, slide valve fed petrol engine. It's upside down and made in the Netherlands, but we can call it normal for now. This is a add-on engine that should be placed there and turn the front wheel, so we're going to have all-wheel drive on our D-bike. D stands for diesel because it's a Lohmann diesel engine, as you have seen in my recent video. Go check it out if you haven't. So we're going to tear this engine down because I don't know anything about it, and you can see that it's absolutely filthy with dirt everywhere, and it has been used very much, you can tell, but probably not for the last 50-60 years or so. So we're going to tear it down before we mount it anyway. Probably need some new piston rings or bearings or something. So yeah, let's go, tear it down. So let the fun stuff begin. We have all the internal parts of the engine cleaned up and looking nice. We have some new parts here, ignition coil, a condenser bearing, seals and a plug wire. So yeah, let's go. So I think the crankshaft actually looks really good. We have no play whatsoever in the rod bearing down there, and the bushing here for the piston pin looks to be really nice. Also, I didn't feel any play in that either, so I think this crank is really good. I'm just going to use a rib of oil and I think we'll be just fine. So I just realized that I have to put the crank in the other way around in this piece first, because here we have the slide valve for the engine, which opens and closes the intake port there while the engine is spinning. So this is a spring right there, and that should push this up, but it pushes it a bit too far up, so this will come loose and I will never get these to line up while pushing or hammering in this piece right here. So I have to remove the crank again and do it from the other side. Shouldn't be too hard. There we go. I'm going to heat up this bearing just a little bit so we get the expansion we need to fit this a bit easier. Here we have the drive roll that should run against the wheel later. It's a bit worn, you can see there. I think it's supposed to be flat, but bike gonna be a little bit slower, but I ain't mind. Not for now. This is pretty easy to swap later, so we're gonna fit this. And there are no parts for this engine to be bought really like this, so we have to use it anyway. I might make a new one myself someday, not now. So here we have the ignition system, and it looks really good. The points looks absolutely fine. Those are Bosch original ones, and they are not worn at all, so I'm going to keep that because you can't buy Bosch originals anymore. And the coil and the condenser comes from China, I think, but they exist, so I bought a set of those. So we're gonna swap those out, and then I think we should have really good spark. So the extender of the points are already on the shaft there, so we can set the gap right now with the flywheel off. Much too big. There we go. So the piston rings for this engine wasn't available. There was one company here in Sweden that did sell them, but it was out of order and they didn't have a clue when they should get new one back in stock again. So we have to use the old ones. They are a little bit worn, but they will work just fine. And this engine has what I think is a really bad version of the locking pin here, because the locking pin on the piston are flush with the side of the piston, which makes the ring gap incredibly big. Normally, the rings overlap the locking pin a little bit, so you get the seal, but here we're talking like 1.5 millimeters of ring gap in a 36 millimeter bore. Terrible, but that's how it's designed, so we'll go with this. It doesn't seem to be anywhere in the cylinder at all. Can't feel any edges there, so I think it's very good, but I'm still going to hone it just slightly so we get that crosshatch pattern in there. So there we go. I think it's time to make a first test start now. Everything is mounted. I have this bracket right here with a cable that goes through this lever right here, acting as a clutch for the engine. Just lifts it up and down. There are some springs to help push the engine down as well. One there, one there. I also moved the dynamo so we can have some lighting. Yeah, let's fill it up with some fuel and see what happens. Well, look at this. I bought this many years ago. It's a man plowing with a horse, and it's supposed to say, I think, 1822 right there, like 1800s 22. You can see the details right there in his face. Somebody made this with like just a piece of metal plate and a chisel and a hammer. Look at the details. I really like this. A beautiful thing. Well, the rain's most likely not far away, but yeah, we will find out. So for the front engine, we have the throttle right there, the clutch right there. And for the diesel engine, you have to engage it with that little lever right there with your foot. You have the throttle for the diesel engine there, and to change the compression ratio on the diesel engine right there. Some throttle. Hey! There we go. And it's very wet today, and that affects the friction drive. Big deal. But maybe here it's a little bit drier. Shut it off there just for a second. That engine is way stronger than the diesel, but the diesel is just 18 cubic centimeters. That is, I think, 38, so big improvement. We're going to engage the diesel as well, so we have two engines now. Start the front one and then engage the diesel one, and use the front one to start the diesel engine with. See how it goes. Easy start. So now we have no compression on the diesel. Then we engage it like so. Full throttle on the petrol engine, full throttle on the diesel, raise the compression. And there we go. So that went really well. I think I drove it around 8 kilometers or something like that. Engine run just fine. Nothing seems to be wrong with it. Maybe the fuel tap there is a little bit leaky. Have some fuel there. No worries. Very nice engine. Friction drive works just absolutely fine, I think. When the tire is wet, it's slipping a little bit, but yeah, nothing to worry about. Really good engine, easy to start, 0.6 horsepower. This is a little bit more powerful than the diesel engine. So if you just want to get to point A to B, that's a better engine, I think. Diesel engine is more odd, more fun in that way. And two-wheel drive, yeah, not necessarily on a bike, of course. I'm not going to get to Rocky Mountains adventure with this bike. Anywhere soon, at least. And always, don't forget to like the video if you find it interesting, and please subscribe, for there will be a lot of more fun things ahead. Here we have an engine made in France, bicycle engine from 1950s. Very nice one, hasn't been used much. That engine should be mounted behind the rear wheel somehow with some sprockets and stuff. We're going to take care of that in another video. Up there I have an old Flink engine, also to be mounted on top of the front wheel on the back. And here we have a Cycle Master wheel. You just take this and swap out your old rear wheel on your bike and you get a moped. Quite interesting. So this will be taken care of in another video. So don't forget to subscribe, there will be more. And until then, have a great day and take care. Goodbye for now.